What's up, everybody, and welcome to my Monday Night Raw review. What do I have to say about this show tonight, huh? What do I have to say about this show tonight? This is technically a go-home show. Last time I remember, what is it? Because they got to promote Blood Money 3 this Thursday. This is the go-home show, folks. Remember that. And what do I have to say about this, huh? Because will I do a review of Blood Money 3 this Thursday for Halloween? I'm sure it should be a very scary night that day. Well, scary day, technically, in the States. So, no, by the time I get home, I will watch that show on Thursday. And I probably will do like I did the last review and just probably play, like I did the last Blood Money 2 review. And say, Blood Money! Blood Money! Just keep singing along from that, and it'll be entertaining. I'm sure it will be again. Maybe I'll choose a different beat this time. I don't know, but I will do a Blood Money 3 review because I know this show is going to look like shit, and I'm going to have fun reviewing it. I can already tell. But what other than the Saudi crap? If I do, before I do get in this review of Monday Night Raw, though, I do want to speak on one thing. No, I know everybody's been hearing this in the past, 24 hours now, I guess, for the past day or two. And, it's been, everybody's been talking about it, so I might as well speak on it myself. I want to speak on the whole, ACH, Jordan Miles, whatever you want to call him, the whole T-shirt controversy right now. Now, if you do not know, as of yesterday, I didn't really notice, so I looked at the T-shirt, but, Jordan Miles had a problem with a T-shirt that was put out, ACH, and if you go look at the shirt, I'm sure they pulled it off already. I know the image is up, but it is a black shirt, pretty much almost like with a smile that is red with, the teeth that, it says his name, and pretty much he said that the shirt was racist. If you do not know why it is racist, it pretty much represents either like a blackface or some Sambo Coon type of shit. If you don't know, go look that shit up. It is real. And I saw, and because when I first saw it, I didn't know what he was talking about. But when I saw the shirt, then I understood what he was talking about. Now, just in general, I went over this with some people. Even if you didn't get the racist part to it, the shirt just looked like shit in general. Okay, it looked like a first grader that just learned Photoshop on day one and made that shirt. I know people been having a lot of complaints about these NXT shirts anyway, since they went to live TV, and they just look so very generic. Honestly, I could make a better T-shirt. Hell, I've sold shirts that look better than this bullshit that's here. But I can see where he's coming from, where it the shirt comes off as racist and everything, and he pretty much had a big problem with it. And to what I've seen in the past 24 hours now, as of today, he's been saying a lot more about it. Pretty much from, I think he tagged Triple H and Vince on Twitter, because at first, like I said, the shirt just looks bad in general, but I can see what he means, where it's coming from, the racist part. But I guess he's been putting out the emails and everything. I guess he had one of I'm trying to remember his name. I should read where I got it from real quick so I don't mess this up. But going by what I seen, he pretty much had an email that shows what Baker Landon, that is listed as the WWE Creative Services coordinator, pretty much writing, wrote that Triple H said that you should love it for your character and wanted it to be more teethy, I guess. And, he pretty much went on Twitter, pretty much says when he saw the original design, he was uncomfortable with it, but instead of addressing the issue, pretty much he said that this Baker Landon guy lied to his face, and that Triple H wanted the design. Yes, but he said that he wanted the design because his hands were tied, and he pretty much said he spoke with Triple H saying that he had depression, it was approved, and he actually put out the image of it, the email to it, pretty much, I remember seeing this. I guess it was a meeting about the logo. It was about the character. Yeah, pretty much like I just explained and everything. So he did have proof of this when discussing about this T-shirt and everything. ACH also pretty much went on about how the whole WWE system is a fraud. That he's created this system where you can't trust anyone. You grow cold and you grow apart from what you love the most. That could be a true statement. It really can. For several reasons, and I'm sure people have had a lot of problems in this company when it comes to that anyways. Yeah, they've had a lot of problems when it comes to doing that. I can understand that part. And he is right about the shirt thing, no, because WWE did put out a statement pretty much saying that they collaborated with ACH when making this shirt, but WWE has lied about this before when it comes to merchandise. Like I said, honestly, their merchandise doesn't not look that good anyways. That's why I don't buy it, because it just looks really just generic in general. And the only thing I really ever had gotten from there was maybe some AJ Styles gear, because my brother got it for me as a Christmas gift, to be honest, because a lot of people just think the WWE merchandise looks bad. But the thing about them saying that they collaborate with them is kind of most likely not true, because there have been stories I've heard in the past where people like Becky or Bray Wyatt have had merchandise come out, but they didn't have any input on the merchandise. And it's kind of what ACH is saying. He never had any input on it. He never had no input on the merchandise though, and it was still put out without his knowledge. I know this one wasn't put out, even though I know some people saying that the guy knew about it for a month, but you now wait all this time to come on Twitter and speak about this excuse me, I had to check the mic, sorry, this whole thing, no, and everything. But the merchandise, and this kind of goes back even a few years ago, which I remember too. I know he's Pac nowadays, but Neville's shirt looked like bullshit when he went heel and everything, and people had a lot of problem with that, saying it needed to be a redesign. And it just looks like, to what I've been seeing from the statements from the WWE, I'm just trying to say, oh no, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He worked with us, he approved of this shirt and everything, which he's kind of got the proof saying he doesn't. And Miles also sorry, Miles, ACH, I get the names wrong, but he pretty much also went to talk about how Hogan, why is he still employed in this company, pretty much, why is he still even getting booked, as in, he said the fact that Hulk Hogan is still employed after giving the locker room an apology for being caught says enough, which I 100% agree with him with what he said about Hogan. I wholeheartedly believe that. I've said the same thing too. Okay, come on. Every time you even see me say in a video, and Hogan has even been on a show, and that you hear me most of the time say "fuck Hulk Hogan," and you know why. If you don't know, you pretty much been living under a rock, or you're just trying to hide yourself from the truth and everything. So I 100% agree on everything he said about Hogan. Okay, now there was one thing he lost me on. This is where he lost me. Once he kind of brought Ring of Honor and Jay Lethal involved, that's where I got lost. Because I'm like, what do any of them have to do with the t-shirt or anything that's going on right now? Because I know he tweeted it, then he deleted it and everything. But, I'm sure a lot of people would save the screenshot and stuff. And I was confused, too, what was going on when he talked about ROH. Pretty much he said, fuck ROH. He kind of talked about how... Yes, he said that they only allow one African American to be the top guy, or guys like him, Cedric Alexander, TD, Malcolm Vela, I probably don't know the other two, and himself had to chase this invisible carrot. He says, name another African American who has reached great heights there other than this Uncle Tom, which was a picture of Jay Lethal in. I don't know where he's getting with the whole Jay Lethal as Uncle Tom. I never really even thought of Jay Lethal being like some Uncle Tom or some coon-ass type of person and everything. I like Jay Lethal, and I don't see it. I honestly don't. I don't know where he was going for that. I personally thought he was reaching. I just kind of thought the guy was reaching when he was doing that, because I just understand what the point of that was. Most of what I've heard, I hear mostly a lot of great things about Jay Lethal, to be honest. Now, do I feel like for some reason, I feel like he's jealous of Jay Lethal, that he's trying to bury the guy for some reason? I don't know, because are you mad because he had, a better opportunity than you, or he's a better wrestler than you? I don't know where that's going, because I don't think because it's almost like you got like Jay Lethal was a bad champion. I thought Jay Lethal was the shit the first time he won the Ring of Honor title. He's like, 2 times, and a double champion in the company too. So I don't understand where he's going with the whole Uncle Tom thing on Jay Lethal. That's where he lost me, okay? Because he kind of started losing me on some of these things. Like, I understand what he's saying on some parts, and I didn't see the video where he said WWE doesn't care about black people. I didn't see that. I heard he just had it on there, then it was deleted then. But I get what he means about the shirt. It looked horrible, and you know the racist tendencies inside of it, but it just looks like a very bad design shirt in general, and it looks like shit in general. Okay, and I know he's been going in on the company, going in on Vince, Triple H, and others, and I'm just going off what I read that it wasn't there at the Performance Center. These are just the articles I'm reading and stuff, but he didn't show up there, and I don't know what WWE's gonna do about this. I don't know if they're gonna fire him. I don't know if he's gonna be released, because I don't know how long this is gonna keep going. To be honest, I don't know. All right, and even WWE's statement just sounded like bullshit, anyways, once it was put out. But I don't know what to expect now. Do I think he will get de-pushed and not barely be on TV? 9 times out of 10, yes, I could see that happening. I honestly can. Do I think he'll be fired or released? I don't know, unless he's trying to get fired. I don't know what he's really trying to do. I honestly don't know, okay? If he's trying to do. Now, people said what was his end game. I guess he just, like I say, he wanted better reparations for black people, which, like I say, he is right about that. But I know some people going in, who was this guy to think he could really talk about whatever, complaining that, because you probably should have seen this coming and everything. And don't get me wrong, WWE screws a lot of guys over as it is anyways and stuff, because I don't know what's going to happen with ACH. Like I said, I don't know what's going to happen with ACH, though. I don't know what the next step is in all of this. I don't know if the company's going to do anything about it or whatnot, because could he be released? Could he not be released? I don't know, okay? And what do you say? If he called Kofi Kingston Martin Luther Kingston, and I don't know, man. It's like I'm with him on one part, but then again, he just kind of lost me on some other parts at the same time. I think once the whole Ring of Honor and Jay Lethal thing got involved, that's where it just I didn't know where he was going with it. Then that's what I didn't understand. I get his point. Now, do I agree if he's trying to gain attention on that? Well, don't get me wrong, I'm sure he's got the attention now and people paying attention to what's going on, but do some people look at this as a reach, or where is he going for and stuff? I think some have said this, but I think he's just trying to make a change, especially if it was a bullshit shirt, and he had a right to be offended. You look at it, you can see it. You can see the whole bullshit in it, because the whole blackface and everything. And he's pretty much been exposing people in the company, and I've said it before, I agreed 100% of what he said about Hulk Hogan. This is all true. But I don't know what's really going to happen, but it's like, on one part I'm on his side, but then on another part I'm side-eyeing him just on a couple of other things he said about it. So I'm looking at this as an up and down thing, because I just, like I said before, I just didn't agree with the Jay Lethal thing. That's what caught me. That didn't make a lot of sense to me there. But I guess we'll just find out and see from that. But moving into Monday Night Raw now. What up again with Raw in St. Louis, huh? Since this crowd was almost halfway dead throughout the whole night. Wow, this crowd was really sucking a lot. But what do we do to kick off the show? We had Paige come out, which I don't even remember the last time you even seen Paige on WWE TV, unless you watched the FS1 show on Fox Sports 1 right now. But Paige was out there. She pretty much introduced the her team, the whole Kabuki Warriors thing that's going on right now, and she pretty much bring him out saying that she was proud to be part of the manager and everything, which honestly I forgot she was even still part of this whole team, to be honest, because Paige has been very non-existent through this, because I believe she had surgery, I believe, or something with her neck again, and I didn't really understand the whole team being her part of it to begin with. I just only think because she was just had to be the English speaker and they needed a mouthpiece, because I don't think Asuka and Kairi's Japanese were that well, but y'all will get into that in a second. But when they came out, one thing I will say that was noticeable, they are making Asuka and Kairi more heel-like, though, because if you notice, Kairi doesn't have the whole pirate thing going on. She didn't have the captain's hat or the captain's wheel, and it was like the all-white. She pretty much had all black on, and she had an umbrella coming out, too. So this wasn't like pirate Kairi saying no more, and Asuka had like the green mist face paint on and stuff, which looked pretty cool too. So at least they are going into their whole heel persona. Paige came out, pretty much kind of ran down all the credentials on what Asuka and Kairi have done in the WWE, from Mae Young Classic and winning the first ever Women's Royal Rumble And pretty much as she was putting them over, Asuka pretty much took the mic from Paige, started speaking in Japanese. Paige took it back. Kyrie took it then, started to laugh, and they kind of botched it by dropping the microphone onto the ground. Then pretty much it looked botchy. They picked it up. Asuka ended up spraying mist into Paige's face and everything, so she pretty much was blind. And I'm sure there's going to be a joke somewhere about something in Paige's face, me and missed it, if you get what I mean. I'm sure you all know what the joke is, but I guess since they can't really even touch Paige, this is the thing they could do is just spray mist with her and kick her out of the group. But like I said before, she was very non-existent at this point. I forgot they still had a manager. I really did. So I don't, it's just like they had to do it just to get some heat. And people booed and everything because, with Paige and stuff. But Paige ain't really doing nothing around here as it is to begin with, other than being a backstage correspondent or, like I said, part of the FS1 show. Paige can't wrestle right now. And I don't know if she ever will wrestle again, to be honest, due to her injury and stuff. But, and stuff. But, I don't know where what's gonna happen next with Paige. I honestly don't, and I guess they just felt like, okay, we forgot she was the mouthpiece, so let's just kick her out so the Asuka and Kyrie can get some heat. Do I think she's gonna go manage another tag team? Well, go back to Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville? I don't know, but in a way, do I feel like this was necessary? I guess it was, maybe, but you forget Paige was even part of this team until she came out in the first part of the show, to be honest. Becky came out, I guess, for the save. Pretty much didn't have a match with her and Kyrie, which was actually a really good match and very enjoyable. I liked it. But my only problem with this was, of course, 50-50 booking. Kyrie wins one week, Becky wins the next week, and I think what makes it worse is that Asuka and Kyrie have to defend the tag team championships on NXT this Wednesday against, Tegan and Dakota Kai. Should they really be losing a match, though, or even just one of them, especially if they have a title match this Wednesday? No, but hey, that's 50-50 booking for you, so that's where they have to go with. They gave a lot of time out there, I'll say that, but I thought it was an enjoyable match. Like I said, I wish the crowd would have got up into it. But next thing after that, R-Truth comes out, pretty much does his what's up entrance. They ask about his match against Buddy Murphy tonight, saying, hey man, that dude ain't my buddy. I don't know no buddy, and I don't even know who that dude is too. But they talked about him losing the 24/7 titles to one of the Singh brothers. Pretty much he had these glasses on he got from Lens Crafters, the bifocals. And what was he saying after that? He pretty much had the bifocals then, and pretty much, what was going to go down tonight and stuff. He was going to find them. Buddy Murphy said, you need to stop focusing on the 24/7 title, and you need to focus a little bit more on me. What did he say? Call himself Australia's hottest import, I believe, or something he said on that. He ended up going against Truth, which was actually kind of a decent match, I thought, at first, until, of course, the 24/7 shenanigans happened again, Let's just send all the job guys around, run around in a circle like it's a Looney Tune cartoon. After that, Truth runs with them, crashes into them, gets back in the ring. He gets back in the ring and pretty much gets kneed by Buddy Murphy. And then he gets back out in the ring, kind of no-selling it, and he goes back to the chase again. So, of course, the chase continues with the 24/7 title. What does Buddy Murphy go on from this? I don't know, okay? He beat Truth. It's the 24/7 championship. Where does it go? I have no freaking clue. AOP do this sit-down interview thing again this week. It's whatever. I'm just wondering when they're debuting at this point. Still good, though. Street Profits come out. They came out, they pretty much hugged, fans chanted, we want the smoke, which at least it was getting over, and fans were with it. They were talking about their match last week against the OC and how they won on their debut episode of Raw. They were excited, the fans were with them, and, Ford talked about he kissed the baby, and, Dawkins was talking about how, hey man, I was making out with this honey last week at the after party, and then he forgot her name, and Ford said focus, pretty much calling out any tag team out there saying you want to get beat up by the OC and everything, come to us. We lay out the challenge right now, okay? Fans pretty much start chanting, we want the smoke again. as they went into the crowd and pretty much sang along or just started chanting along with everybody saying, "We want the smoke. We want the smoke," before they went to commercial. I thought the Street Profits were honestly coming in there for a match, but I guess not. They just want to chant, "We want smoke." But they're getting over, though. The fans, at least they're with it. I will say that. Um, but after that, then next, um, Drew McIntyre with Ric Flair versus Ricochet with Hulk Hogan out there. Wow, what is this? The third time in a row I've seen this match? Well, 2 times in a row, really, because it's 2 weeks in a row. And before, if you were to go back far to the King of the Ring tournament, this is now technically the 3rd time we are seeing this match, okay? And what do I have to say about McIntyre and Ricochet? Honestly, the crowd was dead for this, and the only time they really popped was for when Drew and Hogan had a face-off that they started chanting and getting hyped for it then. I will say this, it was another great match from both McIntyre and Ricochet, but like I saw it last week though, why do I need to see this again? Some of my friends told me you might as well have a best of 7 series with them. They had a really good match though, I will say that, but at least it ended in 50-50 booking. What ends in it? Orton comes out of nowhere after Ricochet, I guess he was going to go for the 630, does the roll, McIntyre gets out of the way, just runs into an RKO, spikes his head into the freaking ground. Orton almost looks like RVD's one back then when Orton RKO'd him, like spiking his head into the ground. Fans pretty much popped big time. Pretty much he went to give Ric Flair a high five. This is where the crowd woke up in St. Louis. This is like probably the most overest thing tonight was when Randy Orton came with that RKO out of nowhere. That crowd woke up and they start chanting. They started doing Randy chants then, and then Orton was over. Orton was over. That he was over as a face out there. Even with the fans, pretty much was excited to see the RKO. Okay, they were excited to see the whole thing. So they were big for that. Like the RKO, that was over, and they threw Ricochet out in the ring. So I guess Orton's got to show some solidarity with McIntyre and them for this tag team match. I'm sure a lot of people don't really care about this Thursday at Blood Money 3, but the RKO is over though. That shit was clean. That was clean. Humberto Carlo was talking with the OC in the back as AJ pretty much, he was impressed by Carlo, and he remembered when, he was many moons ago when he was a rookie and stuff, but now he's an inspiration. He's one of the greatest veterans in the company right now. And he says, "Yo, it's cool you faced Rollins last week, but you were facing the wrong champion. This is the real top champion you need to be facing, okay? I'm the real champion around here. And you're going to be stepping in the ring with me tonight, so get ready to see a match from them." Pretty much then after that, the Viking Raiders, for some reason, went against the Chicago Cubs. Listen, I got nothing to do with this. I am from the South Side of Chicago. I have a White Sox hat on, so I'm with the White Sox. That's the North Side. That's the Cubs. Hey, it's cool. They won the World Series a few years ago. Good for them. Why is this a match? And of course, they go against who? Rizzo and Bryant. If you do not know who Chicago Cubs players are, that's Anthony Rizzo and Chris Bryant, who play for the Chicago Cubs. I'm no baseball expert, so I'm not going to get into all of that. But I do know who some of these people are, though, okay? I believe the only reason why they did this was, because I think the Cardinals lost to the Cubs in the playoffs, or I don't know. I'm not going to speak that much on it. But why did they do this? It felt like a waste, and this just looked random. The Viking Raiders versus Chicago Cubs. Why? I got no freaking clue. Squash match, there you go. It's like they had to do this just to do this for whatever reason. Next thing after that, Almas, pretty much for Vega, went against Sin Cara again. Why am I seeing this match again 2 weeks in a row for some reason? Only difference is that Sin Cara had some backup, and the person who had backup was this girl named Catalina. I had to look her up before pretty much going into this, because I'm like, I don't really know who this girl even is, and pretty much people said she is Catalina Garcia. She was in the August class of 2019 for WWE. She pretty much wrestled as, I don't know what she wrestled as on the indies or anything, but she hasn't really been in the company that long, to what I'm reading about her and stuff. So I don't know a lot about her right now. I've never seen her in the ring or anything other than the move they had out there doing with Vega, when Vega tried to do the Hurricane Rana and she slammed her head into the barricade and stuff. So Sin Cara need a manager. It does make sense because Vega gets almost involved in all of Almas's matches anyway, so it's best to have her out there for this match. But I guess this feud continues. The only thing that didn't make sense to me is, once again, I thought this was going to be a 50-50 booking, but Almas ended up getting a roll up on Sin Cara, outsmarting him. I don't know if it was a one-time thing for the Sin Cara or this girl Catalina out there with the mask, but I guess we'll see what happens next. But I'm probably going to have to look up more to know. I don't really know about that well. And the most thing I've seen from fans all night saying she was thick as hell out there, which I can agree on that too. But yeah, I don't know a lot about the girl that much. But then again, why am I seeing a feud I saw on SmackDown not that long ago with Almas and Sin Cara to begin with? That's what's funny to me about that. Okay, so I don't know. But what is next? I'm sorry, I was trying to look up information who this was, but yeah, I'll just look later because I'm probably not gonna try to find more information on who this girl is. But moving on, what's next on this show other than Sin Cara and Almas? We move on into of course, Aleister Black. Do you know the definition of madness or the definition of insanity? I found the definition of insanity of doing the same thing over, expecting something to change. I'm sure that's how a lot of people feel about Raw and maybe the WWE right now in general. It's either that or Aleister Black is going to be in Far Cry 3 and he's going to be the new Voss instead of saying the definition of insanity. Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity? They're doing this shit over, the same thing over and over again to expecting shit to change. Someone told me that once. I thought it was crazy, so I shot him. I'm not gonna get to the whole monologue, but it's a great monologue to listen to with Voss. But is Aleister Black the new Voss now of Far Cry and everything? I don't know, but it's the definition of madness is this show. Next, Charlotte and Natalya went against the Iconics. I don't know. Okay, I have no idea. Billy Kay is bad in the ring. I will say that. I don't know, man. I don't even know what they're doing because someone brought this up to me. You can't put Charlotte and Becky back against each other because we've seen it too many times and we know it's going to happen. And if you put the belt back on Charlotte again, you know you're going to piss fans off by putting these two against each other. I don't know what putting her with Natalya. I guess Charlotte's a face then, I guess. I don't know, but the Iconics ain't nothing much to talk about when going against either, so they just kind of there to be there. I don't know, man. This was strange. I didn't really care. It just felt random. Basically they have nothing better for Charlotte to do. That's what is being said to me right now. They basically have nothing for this girl to do. So that's how I'm gonna put it as. But after that, then they went to Seth Rollins. I don't think he's getting over, but at least he's trying to get a pop by, mentioning where he is tonight. And he talked about Eric Rowan. That he's got to be ready for this Firefly Funhouse. He burned it down, but he knew it was going to come back. So why is he facing Eric Rowan in a Falls Count Anywhere match? I don't know. And this is Eric Rowan's, quote-unquote debut for Raw or return or being first night drafted to Raw? I don't know. What do I have to say about this match? I don't know. Listen, I didn't hate this Falls Count Anywhere match. Ended up going to concession stand. Eric Rowan slammed him through a merch table. They got back to the ring. They went to the stage. Seth curb stomped his head onto the announce table, but it didn't work. Threw him off the stage. Jumped off the stage, which they knocked the cameraman down. They went to the back, and then next thing you know, Seth curb stomps Eric Rowan's head into a ladder, which his head started bleeding, by the way. And then he put him under the forklift, which I guess Seth Rollins doesn't know how to do a handle a forklift. He pretty much started telling, some random guy, like, you know how to work this? You know how to work this? Get your ass in there. Drop it on him, until he figured it out on his own, and he dropped the forklift on him then. and he stood on top of it to win. So I guess this is what The Rock versus Mankind 1999 in a Falls Count Anywhere match that we're pinning people with forklifts again. Seth stood on top of it, pretty much cheered, so he's got to look strong going into this whole Falls Count Anywhere match against Bray Wyatt this Thursday on, not Thursday, it's Thursday? Yeah, it is Thursday, Halloween. What the hell am I talking about? Blood Money 3. So that's what they got to do about that. They got to promote this thing one way or another. So Seth, I don't know if he's even getting over right now. I don't know what they're doing with Seth Rollins, but he ain't over. I'll tell you that right there. He is not getting over for some reason. What else happened? Probably the best thing out of the night, a match that I really enjoyed, was AJ Styles versus Humberto Carrillo. I thought it was probably one of the best things tonight. It was a very good match for both of these two. I enjoyed it. Carlo, man, that dude can go. Like I said, I may not watch a lot of 205, but this dude was good, and AJ can make anything look good too. For like that tornado DDT and Carlo with the moonsault. He overshot a little, but he still put out a good moonsault. And I did kind of like how AJ focused on his leg, hit him with the calf killer for the win, and tapped out. They pretty much got back in the arena. Was going to go for a handshake, but Carlo pretty much didn't accept it, and he slapped AJ in. They pretty much started jumping Carlo, the OC. But yeah, Street Profits came in to save Carlo from the OC in. Pretty much throwing him out of the ring. Fans chanting, "We want the smoke," and Street Profits. So, like I said, they're getting over. I will say that, but most like 9 times out of 10 will be a 6-man. But, somebody said this about Carlo tonight. Carlo was gonna have a great match with AJ regardless, but other people have said, and someone told me too, this has happened to guys like Cedric Cesaro and guys that we thought were gonna be good, and then they look good for a second, but then they end up not doing nothing and looking like crap. What's happened to Cedric Alexander or Buddy Murphy? We barely see him. We know they can go, but we barely see these guys in general. So where does that really go for him in this match? Is it going to move Carlo even further? I don't really know, okay? So hopefully things work out for him, but, don't get your hopes too high at the same time. But what are we going to end this show with, huh? What are we ending the show? Divorce Court. Oh, shit, how is this going to go? Divorce Court with Jerry the King Lawler. He gets a lot of segments nowadays for some reason. And where are we going to go with Rusev and Lana, huh? Should Rusev divorce his wife? Why is this even a storyline? They both came out. Lana pretty much grabs a microphone. She doesn't have an accent anymore, by the way, the Russian accent. And fans boo at her, pretty much talking about the fans and everything. And, she didn't want to air the dirty laundry out. They didn't want to embarrass each other or embarrass Rusev, but she's tired of all the people on the comment section and Instagram always talking about her and everything. Fans chanted Rusev Day, at least people on Rusev's side, and he's getting over. But Lana pretty much said that, the truth of their marriage is, it's sex all the time. Pretty much Rusev wants to have sex all the time. Pretty much everywhere all over the house, the bedroom, the kitchen, the basement, the living room, everything, at the doctor's offices, at WrestleMania, everything. Pretty much she called Rusev a sex addict then, pretty much. Why is this a thing? Because the guy pretty much wants to fuck his wife any way he can, and probably the most freakiest shit he can think of, especially at WrestleMania or in a parking lot or wherever he wants. He just wants to fuck, I guess. But pretty much... And fans cheered for this too, by the way, when she called him a sex addict. They actually popped for that. Then pretty much said that a baby, he wants to put a baby inside her, but a baby's not going to work out right now and everything. And, Rusev pretty much says he never intended to have a child with her and everything, but he wanted to grow a family with her soon. Even I didn't think that made sense. So you don't want to put a child in her, give her a kid, but you still want to grow a family. You gotta get her pregnant to do that, right? So how do you intend not to have a kid with her right now? It didn't make a lot of sense when he said that, because she feels like it's gonna ruin her modeling career and everything. She can't have stretch marks. She looks too good right now. She's too ravishing. There's a reason why she has that name. So she didn't want to get pregnant at all right now. And then she pretty much went on to say that Rusev cheated on me. And pretty much, and he was like, what? And then she pretty much said that Lashley told me. And then he pretty much says Lashley's just talking shit, which he actually said that, by the way, shit. And they bleeped that out. But, pretty much, Lashley came out then. Which, by the way, this guy was in a suit half the night when we saw them sitting in the back with each other. Why is he out here in his gear? We're in a show. You're not a wrestling match. You were in a suit not that long ago throughout half the night we saw you in. They brawled for a second. And Rusev got the upper hand. He took off the wedding ring and started punching Lashley. Lana came with a kendo stick then, hitting Rusev with it. No effect. Lashley hits him in the nuts, and you think he's about to go for a spear after that. He pretty much sets up in the spear position, runs up to Rusev, kicks him in the balls, and he's on the ground. And they pretty much make out over his body. And you can hear some person in the crowd saying, this is weird. So, I don't know what to say about this segment. Number one, fans at least were on Rusev's side. And they didn't, first off, I will say this. The crowd was actually into it. And they didn't just sit on their hands, try to bury it. Did they boo Lana? Yes, they did. But did they get to the point where they could boo it, that they could bury it? Not all the way. Okay, they didn't. But they still didn't like it at the same time. Alright? But I don't know. Is it going anywhere? I don't know where this story's going anymore. Okay, I don't know. Do people think this is like WCW ending kind of booking bad? Possibly. I don't know. But this shit is just bad. Okay, it really is. So I have no idea where this is going. I don't. I don't know where this is going. This story makes no sense. Rusev is getting over, but I guess now we're not. Lana left him, but wherever they're coming up with this, he is a sex addict now. But the fans love it. I don't know. Listen, man, this is supposed to be a go home show. Alright, but you get checked out of these shows just because of how bad they are half the time. And this is just another example, okay? And I don't know what I can name. Maybe it was a few positives out of some matches and everything and stuff, but stuff like this being the main event of the show, this divorce court thing, and I don't know, Blood Money 3 being promoted. The RKO was probably one of the best things out of the show. That's what woke the crowd up. I enjoyed the RKO, so that was probably one of the best things on there. The Page thing was just kind of whatever, even though it felt unnecessary. It's like they had to do it at the same time just to do it. So it's a lot of things you could say from this show. Some randomness, some things that didn't make sense, but hopefully when Blood Money 3 is all said and done, we can actually build the Survivor Series this time. Am I going to go? Yeah. I don't know where it's going, so hopefully Survivor Series goes into this once Blood Money 3 ends and stuff, so I don't know where this is going. Alright, I don't know. Where I go to Survivor Series, I don't know. My brother said today that he wanted to go to Survivor Series, but I don't know if I'm even going to go with him, to be honest. I'll probably go to NXT TakeOver, then go to Survivor Series. I'd rather take TakeOver than that. Maybe TakeOver is just an easy show to get through, but I don't know, man. We'll see. I don't know about this, but other than that, that's my review of Raw. Comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think about this show. Follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890, because I don't know. If you liked Raw, you liked it, but I don't know. We'll see what happens if the ratings say anything good about it, I guess. I don't know, man. These people still watch the show, so the ratings are going somewhere with this. But other than that, I'm done with this show. I will be back tomorrow with a review for Impact Wrestling to debut on Access TV, and I'm really looking forward to that. So I am ready to see that show, match, whatever. But I'm ready to see it. Okay, so they're gonna be debuting on Access TV, and we'll see what happens from there. If you haven't checked out my Bound for Glory review, check out that review also, because I was at that show. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.